Oh, I got a new toolbox. I was looking for something that's kind of portable yet a lot better than, some of these other things where you open up the lid and you got to look down in the bottom. And I got these three over here. There's a bunch of them, a whole pile more of them in the shed, and just stuff inside too. These are the main ones I use there. I mean, that itself can use, those three could be combined in a roller big toolbox. But I figured I'd get this because it's got a handle on the top of it. Now, if you fill this thing up, whew, man, that would be heavy. It's not that light as it is. I don't know what the hell it weighs. It's pretty heavy. But in order to open the drawers, you got to open this lid. So it's got a lock on it. We can use a lock, And what I already did was I truck bed lined inside this was red in here. I truck bed lined it with that. I know you really should put like a rubber mat in there or something, but truck bed lining. And a truck bed line. These were already black. A truck bed lined these. You got to dry, but it's got smooth. These are smooth. They're pretty smooth, man. I mean, they don't stick. I mean, they kind of lock into place a little bit. They ain't gonna fall out, and they're nice and smooth. I saw some of the review. This might be made in China, maybe. I don't know. Craftsman, who knows? It's but the other side of it is, it's like the other stuff that's made in China is really screwed up. I mean, this stuff, it's got better quality to it. I don't know how long this made in China stuff is going to continue, but it's not going to last. Not going to last forever, that's for sure. So, anyway, the deal is, I just had too many tools, and it's like I want something semi-portable. And probably what I'll do with this, if I leave it around on the ground, is I'm going to put a piece of wood underneath it, pressure-treated wood that's already painted, just in case. The bottom of this, so it doesn't get rusty. The big advantage, though, I think with this, now I guess I could put it on a cart with some wheels too. I mean, that would be all right too. But if need be, I could do that. I could make a little cart for it. Just weld up out of some angle iron and put some casters on it. But I think that the fact that it's got a handle on the top of it, at least I can move it around, for crying out loud. The other way you can freaking move stuff around like this actually is if you get a hand truck, like instead of getting a welding cart, I used a hand truck. See that welder? That's an old welder. It's kind of rigged together with some other. I had to actually rig it up with a separate, I don't know, the main board for the welder broke, so the wire feed wasn't working. So I bypassed it with a separate power supply, like a 24 volts power supply. It works. I just kind of leave it out here covered up, but my welding cart is just a hand truck. Now you can do that same thing with tools. Like that toolbox, you can get a couple of them. You can make a shelf on the top. You could put two of those on here, and you can have it where it's bolted to this with like say a radiator clamp to the arm on the hand truck, right? And this way you can roll it around a lot easier than those little BS casters, because you can roll around 200, 300 pounds with this damn thing with those big wheels, right? A lot of times people aren't thinking. As a matter of fact, you think if they made a product like that, it would probably sell like crazy, but once people get their traditional mindset, you just put little rollers on the bottom of something. That's how it is, because you figure that you're rolling it around in a shop. Me, what I might do is I might get an extra one of these with the hand truck and just do, like I said, weld up maybe another shelf on the hand truck where I have one on top of each other, and the other one might be about this high, and with a couple stabilizing forks on in front so it doesn't fall forward. And like if I want to roll it across, you're on a shop floor where it's pure cement like that, fine. If you're rolling it across, your regular ground, you could do it. So But these things are good for a lot of stuff. I mean, not necessarily tools, but if you say you're into electronics, you could put a bunch of plastic bin compartments in here, put electronic stuff in here. Maybe you're a gunsmith or something. Maybe you could put a lot of your tools in there for that. Or maybe it could just be something very specific, like for carburetors. Or what I might do with this, I might put all my motorcycle specific tools in here, like the chain brake tool, which I couldn't find, which I think is with the valve spring compressor, which I got a very nice overhead. It's a big freaking long one that it'll compress all kinds of valves. It was actually $100-something like decades ago, so I mean it's probably like $300 for that damn tool today. I know my chain brake tool for the motorcycle's with that someplace. I couldn't find it. I ordered another one, but like my clutch tool, I don't know, the chain lockup tool, for the primary chain, some of the specialized sockets. Maybe I'll put all my motorcycle stuff in here, for two specialized tools. If there's too many of them, this way at least I know where they're at, and also some of the bearings and the seals and stuff, and I don't know, maybe some of the more minor parts, like the cams, extra set of cams and lifters and stuff. Maybe I'll put that in here. I don't know. But that's another idea for these toolboxes like this. If you got something specific, maybe chainsaw parts or chainsaw tools or chains and parts for your chainsaw, like little carburetors, they would fit up in here really good. You wrap them up with some bubble wrap, with some tape. You put your little extra carburetors up there for your chainsaws, extra chains. That's why sometimes it's good having extra toolboxes. You can have them not just for tools per se, but for specific things that you do. If it's with chainsaws, with motorcycles, I don't know, maybe it's with gunsmithing parts or something, I don't know, knife working parts, I don't know, whatever. And like I always put these little rebel flags, Confederate flags. Rebel's not the politically correct term, it's Confederates, by the way. You're not supposed to say rebel. Anyway, I just kidding. But I get these are little vinyl decals, and what I do is to make sure they stay on there really good, I give them a blast of this double clear coat. It's called Double Hide Ultra Cover Clear Coat for Rust-Oleum. And stuff's pretty good. I've actually put them on things that were outdoors, and they stayed on there forever, man. As a matter of fact, I have them on my tire changing tool here. This has been exposed to the weather. It gets not really wet too much, but truck bed lined, all that stuff, the pressure treated wood. And these were just vinyl stickers for like on mailing envelopes, and I clear coated the hell out of them, and they're on there good, man. They're vinyl, so they should last a little longer. And actually, I got some tools in here that had some rust on them, not a lot, but have been soaking in vinegar now for a few days. They're metric set that goes in here. It's a Husky, an old Husky made in USA. I'll be cleaning those off, and we're going to be using the silver chassis saver on them after they're chemically cleaned and all the rust is off. Chassis saver's going on those, which would be like harder than an epoxy, basically. So anyway, it's now I'll probably put those tools in here. Maybe I need to put something where, what I might do too, besides, because I think I'll fit, I don't have too many motorcycle only tools. What I might do is put metric over here, SAE over here. That'll save a lot of bullshit time too, and mark it really good. Or maybe what you could do is you could take to mark this, get your printer and use a piece of paper, right? And just print out in bold, SAE and metric in both. And then clear coat the paper a couple times on each side. Then it turns into like a plastic, it's like a plasticized paper. And then you could tape with packing tape, the clear packing tape, put it right the hell over this. And it'll stay on there forever, man. It'll actually stay on there forever. You'd be surprised. A lot of things you can make labels for on a cheap that way. I've done that many times before. I mean, I should probably say separate videos on it, but usually I tell you a lot of bullshit tips in one video. So again, I know I'm repeating myself, so if you didn't get that, if you want to make a label for like nice printed out label, because I noticed like printed out labels, especially colors, like you can put like metric in red and SAE in blue or something. Sometimes that jumps out at you better, even though, you just make the association right. And maybe you can paint a little blue in here, and this could be a little red on the draw on the bottom. And you can say metric in red, right? Sometimes that stuff helps. I'm telling you, that's how I used to set up a lot of stuff in accounting too. We used to use the paper computer, not just how the software, the accounting software worked with the special reports, but everything. The filing system was cross-referenced like crazy, and nothing was handwritten. So you can make like you just print out on a piece of paper in blue and SAE and red and metric, whatever, red letters, bold. Cut out the paper so it fits in here, the right size font. Or before you cut it out, actually just clear coat that paper, so it's plasticized. So if any moisture got behind the packing tape, the clear packing tape that you put that over with, it's not going to screw up that paper. It's going to last forever. So you got a really nice, outstanding label. Then down here you can put down motorcycle tools or something like that, which that's what I'm probably going to do. I'm probably going to do it like that. And if I get another one of these, I'm gonna set them up on what do you call it? Again, the hand truck, and make the hand truck where this is rest on. I'm gonna have it stick out maybe a few inches longer. This way, it won't tilt forward and fall down or anything like that. I could actually rivet a piece of steel onto the front of the hand truck that maybe sticks out about this far, because the hand truck would stick out about here where this would rest on. Just take another piece of steel and just round it out. Don't put a corner on it so it smashes into your foot. Round it out, maybe a 14 gauge, 12 gauge or something like that, and rivet it to the bottom of the platform of the hand truck. Then the hand truck ain't going to fall forward. And then you can have this on it. And what you could do is in the back, you could take a couple of rivets, structural rivets, and put like what do you call it? Something where you can attach the a regular radiator clamp through it like this, like a loop like this, and you can put a radiator clamp this way around the tube on the hand truck coming up, and that would hold this in. Actually, you probably want to do it up more around here, this height, and that won't interfere with nothing, because there's nothing back there. It's just it's just the back of the drawer, and there's about that much room. You'd have enough room to put your rivet in there or something. You can just use the 1/8 inch pop rivets. You don't even need to be structural rivets. And this way, if you want to take this off the cart, the hand truck cart, your homemade cart, you can do it. It's just a couple of radiator clamps holding on each one of these, and that's going to hold it on there really good. But then this way, you want to roll around a bunch of tools. I could roll them around this. If I had to take them out there, I could roll them on the grass. So these little stupid casters, which are asinine. So this should help me out with a lot of my organization, because right now I don't know how many toolboxes. I got a bunch of them actually. There's at least 4 more like that, but then I got tools that are in boxes, and also in those Rubbermaid rough totes, whatever the hell you call those things. Oh yeah, there's tools in there too. There's tools in there. I forgot about it. There's toolboxes in there. So I really could use a couple of freaking giant things that for mechanics, but I think I'm going to go with just getting these. These weren't that much money. I think this was like 50 something bucks. So 2 of them is like a little over 100, and that's not that bad, because when you add 2 of them together, and then you get a hand truck, you can get them in Walmart, made in USA, for like 20 bucks. It doesn't have to be a tremendously strong hand truck. I mean, something that holds a few hundred pounds, it's easily going to handle a couple of those things. So And that's probably what I'm going to do. And, you know, you could put the rubber mats in here, but I didn't. I just shut them down with some truck bed lining. I don't think, you know, just so they don't get scratched up. They're not going to clean as easy, but it's black, and they're going to be greasy black tools, so that'll work. Anyway, you know, like I said, it's not just a toolbox. It could be a real big organization thing. There's a lot of things. I just mentioned a couple things how you can make this better, more handy than anything they sell. And again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably have SAE metric and SAE and specialized motorcycle tools probably on the bottom. You know, so this way I'll know where the hell they are. It's like I pretty much know where everything is, but I got so much stuff in so many different places. It's like that chain brake tool pissed me off. I couldn't find that sucker for the bike, the 530, you know, chain that's on the back of it. I couldn't find that sucker, and I looked and looked and looked. But the last time I used it was probably 6 years ago. And that's, you know, that's those kind of, and I know where my clutch tool is. I know it was in there. The chain brake tool used to be in that thing. And this one right here, the gray one, used to be in there. I know it used to be in there. I must have moved it someplace. And I was like, where? But I think it's in with my valve spring compressor, which I noticed I didn't find. I found just about everything else. But that's why I got this. I says, you know, I'm going to start, you know, putting labels on things like with the tools the way I was doing with the accounting. You know, make sure I got a filing system. But first, you got to have like a filing cabinet. I mean, these toolbox things here are not the best. I mean, I know I got, you know, my tools for the spark plug and the shit. I know where all this stuff is pretty much. You know, I know it's in there. I mean, it's got the pullers for the freaking gear pullers, the pulley pull. I know where a lot of my stuff is. It's just that one thing I just couldn't find. I was like pissed off. And I know I used to have the chain brake tool in here because I even have a piece of the chain right there. I had to order another one. So, fuck, goddamn, pissed me off. And here's I knew this was my Harley clutch tool. And some of these tools that are in here, I put in here for the sockets that you use for, you know, there's like a shallow 3/8 drive socket. I forgot what this is for, but this is for something. Oh, this is the oil thing, the oil filter for the Chevy Cavalier, which I have another one of those anyway. But I got a lot of put some of my weird stuff in here. Some of these sockets I don't use much. See, with the adapter like that. You know, I organize stuff the best I can, but there's only so much you can do with a toolbox like this, man. So I figure, you know, I might eventually have 4 of these and set them up on the hand trucks, like I explained before. And actually, 4 of these would cover a lot. Then maybe I could just use this as my main go-to area versus trying to hunt through all this crap, because even every time I get a wrench, I got to pull that top thing out. And, you know, it's a pain in the ass. And just have everything really labeled up. But I don't want to get, you know, a huge cabinet that is like for mechanics with little rollers, because it's gonna be too much of a pain in the ass to move around. So something like this, it's not too big, not too small. And then again, if I put 2 of these on a hand truck and mount them on there with a little extension on here, so it doesn't fall forward with the big wheels, that's gonna be the way to go. So I mean, anything you get, you can modify and make it better. You know, and you don't need to put the rubber mats in here. I mean, the truck lining's gonna keep the shit from getting scratched. So good to go.